Hello everybody, Mobius1 here, and it is that time of year again. That's right, it's March 1st, 2023, and that means Mandalorian Season 3 just launched earlier today. I just got home from work. It's late in the evening. I don't care. We're going to jump in and watch this. I'm super excited. Mandalorian has been definitely, I would say, the most exciting Star Wars content to come from Disney ever since they took control of the license, and I think most people would agree with me. Unfortunately, if you are a Mandalorian fan and decided to pass up on the Book of Boba Fett, you may have missed what I and many others would probably consider would have been what would have been Mandalorian season 2.5, because there were 2 episodes towards the end of Book of Boba Fett that had a pretty significant impact on the Mandalorian story. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure Boba Fett wasn't even mentioned in one of those episodes. So yes, dare I say spoilers for the Book of Boba Fett, but if you're watching Mando Season 3, then you probably don't care about spoilers for the Book of Boba Fett. But yeah, at the end of Book 2, or Season 2 of Mando, Grogu, Baby Yoda, Mando gave him over to Luke to begin his Jedi training. And yeah, in Book of Boba Fett, he came back. We got that really, really awesome episode, a really touching episode of Grogu training with Luke. And yeah, it was a really emotional episode. And at the end of the season, we see Luke presented Grogu with a choice between the Beskar chainmail little thing that Mando made and brought for him, or Yoda's lightsaber. And Grogu, well, we didn't actually see Grogu make the choice, but then of course in the Book of Boba Fett finale, Grogu is returned to the Mando, and they kind of fight a bunch of guys in Mos Espa, and there's a Rancor, and crazy shit happened. So yeah, so they've been reunited, which, again, like, if you didn't watch Book of Boba Fett and you just watched the end of season 2 of Mandalorian where Grogu leaves, and then I'm assuming we're not going to see any of that, and Grogu's just going to be back with the Mando at the beginning of this season, it was probably pretty confusing. But hopefully, if you did skip Book of Boba Fett, that explained a little bit of it. So yes, they have been reunited. And where we go from here is really anybody's question. Just a little bit more of a reminder. I remember, oh, and yeah, again, this was from Book of Boba Fett. Mandalorian was banished from his covert, his little group of Mando friends with the blacksmith, or the armor smith rather, and that Vizsla, is it Paz Vizsla? I forget the guy's name. The dude in the big bulky armor with the repeater. They got into a scuffle over the Darksaber, and Mando still has the Darksaber, I believe. However, I'm pretty sure that's going to become pretty significant based on trailers that I've seen for season 3. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of Bo-Katan, and there might be a little bit of a yeah, a little more scuffling to do over this Darksaber thing and the rightful ruler of Mandalore. So, yeah, I can't wait to jump into this. I am obviously going to be doing YouTube edit reactions, which take a long time. So if you guys are watching this, I would really appreciate the support. Just leaving a like and a comment. I understand my content hasn't been all that great as of late, so anything you guys can do to help me out with the algorithm is appreciated. Also, the full-length reactions, the unedited versions, are going to be available on my Patreon. Link to that is in the video description. I have options on there for only $1 a month, which is the cheapest I can go for you guys, and it definitely beats out a lot of the other YouTube content creators. But yeah, so I do appreciate your support there. Anyway, for those of you watching along for the full length, I am paused at 0 seconds. So we're just going to let the whole intro play through, so that way we're nice and synced. Here we go. This is The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 1, The Apostate. I hope I'm saying that right, otherwise I'm going to look really weird. Here we go.
I must be destroyed.
There's no way they're bringing him back.
Have you ever removed your helmet? You are a Mandalorian no more.
See, here you go. That's Book of Boba Fett. See, is that even right of them to show Book of Boba Fett content in the previously on portion of The Mandalorian? That feels so wrong. I mean, it's good that they showed it, but still. And when Bo-Katan called him a child of the Watch, she has to be referring to Death Watch, right? Like 100%. And it was Death Watch that saved him in those flashbacks with like that teal armor. We're gonna see them. We have to. SWG fans, you know what that is, right? Binary liquid. Ooh. Can you imagine beginning to be an extra in a scene like this? Ugh. I love that they're all unique colors. That's so cool. What the hell is this? Yeah, I don't think that's gonna do much. That camera shot. Y'all need to throw one of those detonators in its mouth. Oh shit. Dude, the N1 is just so sick. Oh, guys, we're starting this season off with a bang. I want to know what planet they're on now. They probably won't say.
If I visit the planet and I can bring you proof, the decree of exile will be lifted and I would be redeemed.
This is the way.
Dude, I should have rewatched certain episodes of Clone Wars before watching this. Or at least in preparation. There's going to be so many Clone Wars references in this. Purgle. Lots of Purgle.
Welcome to Navarro, independent trade anchor and outer rim hyperlane port.
Wow. This place is thriving. That's funny.
Magistrate Karga.
That's High Magistrate Karga to you.
He's basically Lando. A genuine businessman now. Or politician, I guess, in his case.
Pirate King Gorian Shard's name familiar to all in this sector.
I mean, didn't anybody tell them outside of a school is a gun-free zone? Can't they read the signs?
I need a marshal.
What about Marshal Doom?
Disney fired her.
What can we provide?
Guns. Lots of guns.
I need him back.
No.
I need a droid I can trust to help me explore Mandalore.
Damn, I almost said Kuil could put him back together, but rip Kuil. What, so Mando, who used to hate droids, is all of a sudden an expert droid engineer now? Oh, is this how... Are they going to bring Babu Frick into this? I'm pretty sure I saw Babu Frick in a trailer.
There you go.
Yeah, but does he remember?
Asset lead terminated. Terminate asset.
I don't think I can handle him with all his limbs if things go scud.
The Excellence.
Yeah!
What do you want?
Babu Babu. Freaky freaky Babu. These guys remind me of the little alien, the coffee brewing aliens from Men in Black.
Can't fix. No, the Vulcan.
The Vulcan.
No, the Vulcan. The Vulcan.
If you can get a new part, he says he can fix it.
I still, every time I see that ship, I can't believe they brought an N1 back. I've always loved the N1.
Hang on, kid, we got pirates.
Cutting down 4 of my brothers in cold blood.
Okay, Davy Jones wannabe.
After him!
Are those Star Chasers? Those ships look very familiar from the old X-Wing series. They're not exactly what I remember, but they're very similar. Dude. Grogu's getting a kick out of it. This is so good. What is that?
Stop where you are, Mandalorian.
Speaking of Davy Jones wannabes,
Surrender your ship and I'll spare your life.
I just want to keep talking, but I can't. This isn't going to be where Bo-Katan is it? Actually, it probably will be. But how is she going to help fix the droid? I would have thought he'd gone to Tatooine.
I'm here to join you.
There's nothing left to join. When I returned without the Darksaber, my forces melted away. Your cult gave up on Mandalore long before the Purge. There's nothing left.
I am going to Mandalore.
If you want to go to the mines, be my guest.
So, like...
Bye, Din Djarin.
So what does she do then? She just hang out sitting there all day? Oh, that's the end. That was short. Oh, I missed this credit scene though. All right, everyone. So we just wrapped up The Mandalorian season 3, episode 1, The Apostate. What can I say? Mando's back. I freaking love this episode. I was so excited for this series to continue. Like I said at the beginning of the video, this is some of the best Star Wars that Disney has put out since they took over. And yeah, they did not disappoint at all with this. Honestly, though, with Dave Filoni's name attached to it, could it really be bad? God, knock on wood, right? Please don't. Anyway, where to even start with this? So, trying to bring IG-11 back is going to be hilarious. I don't know exactly how they plan on doing that, if that's something that's going to be like a side quest or something, because I thought maybe he said that he was trying to do it so that he could have IG-11 go with him to Mandalore, but then he went to Bo-Katan, and I don't know. It seems like hasn't quite made up his mind on how he wants to tackle this adventure that he seems to be signing himself up for. I also don't know how they're going to bring Death Watch back into this. I know in the trailers I'm pretty sure we saw some of them, but it could have been a flashback. Again, you know, they're constantly, the way the trailers are cut, are constantly teasing you and maybe setting you up to think things are going in one direction when in reality they go the other way. So it's really, who knows at this point. Let's talk a little bit about that space battle with the asteroid field. It was a little shorter than I thought it was going to be, but it was so good. It reminded me a little bit of the Battlestar Galactica remake, particularly the episode Scar. Those of you who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. If you don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. But it was a pretty cool episode and featured a fight in an asteroid field, very sort of similar to this. But it also reminded me a lot of really how badly I want that Star Wars Rogue Squadron movie to be made, and we haven't heard crap about it. I'm pissed. I hope that it's still a thing. I know it was removed from like the timeline of Star Wars stuff that's going to be coming out in the next few years. So there were rumors that it got canceled, but then the woman in charge of it, I forget her name, but she tweeted saying that it wasn't canceled, that it was just indefinitely delayed. And who knows like how long it's going to be before we get any updates on that. I am really hoping that movie gets made, because if it's a movie full of scenes and action like that, like, sign me up. Let's go. I know there's going to be another really cool, or I think there's going to be another Naboo N1 Mando dogfighting scene in this series, or in this season. I'm pretty sure there is. I'm trying to think of the last trailer we saw. I'm pretty sure I saw atmospheric fighting, or in like a canyon or something. So I think we still have that to look forward to, but I love it. Like, I could watch a whole series on just like Star Wars dogfighting and starships and stuff like that. So I hope that Rogue Squadron movie is not canceled for good. And yeah, I'm not really talking about Mandalorian anymore, am I? Anyway, but that's what it reminded me of. That's what it made me think of. It was awesome. I love it. The Babu Frick, honestly, that wasn't Babu Frick. That was just another one of those droid engineer species. I'm not exactly sure what species it is. I'm sure you guys can leave a comment and let me know, or I could look it up on Wikipedia, but I don't really care that much. I just know him as Babu Frick. The parallels with Griff and Lando, you know, the like pirate, smuggler, scoundrel guy turned into a legitimate businessman, or in this case, politician, is kind of interesting. We caught a glimpse of Purgle, which were those like space whale looking things in hyperspace, which if anyone has watched Star Wars Rebels, you are familiar with those. So is this Filoni's way at kind of hinting, teasing the Ahsoka series that we're supposed to get later this year? Maybe, because I have a feeling that the Purrgil are going to be I don't want to say a large part of that series, but I'd be surprised if they weren't, you know, at least part of it in some way, considering how I can kind of see how that series is going to be about Ahsoka and maybe Sabine going and looking for Ezra Bridger, who, spoilers, at the end of Star Wars Rebels, is sent through hyperspace with Admiral Thrawn into the unknown regions of space by way of Purrgil. Yes, a creature who lives in space and can travel through hyperspace just naturally somehow. So that's what those were, which is interesting. Another, I don't know if it's Filoni created it, but again, Dave Filoni was tied with Star Wars Rebels, part of the producers or creators or writers or something with Star Wars Rebels. His name was tied to it, basically, so I think that's another one of his creations as well. I had mentioned it earlier in the video, but I love all the different Mandalorian armor colors at the start of this episode. I'm not sure what that giant alligator turtle type thing is that they were fighting. I mentioned in the video, I'm not even sure what planet they're on anymore. But this series never really did give us the names of planets, at least not right away. We did pick up on Navarro eventually, they mentioned, and they might have mentioned a couple others, but for the most part, they jump around a lot of different locations and never really managed or really bothered giving us the names of them, because ultimately it doesn't matter, right? Like, yeah, the people that are geeky and nerdy about it like me care, but most of the people watching don't care, and it doesn't have any effect on the story, but it's cool to know. I really think that's probably all that I need to say about it. I'm curious to see if I just want to know where they go next. They set up so many different things on where they could go next. The pirates are a new threat now, obviously. Moff Gideon is probably going to come back as another threat at some point. Even though Mando's trying to get back on the good side with his little group of Mandalorian friends, there's still tension between him and Vizsla over the Darksaber that might come back around. So there are a lot of potential villains or threats in this series so far, and I think that's a good thing. I'm looking forward to it. But I'm going to wrap this up now so I can start editing it and get to bed at a decent hour. It's almost midnight and I have work in the morning, so I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Look forward to more of them. I'll do my best to get them out as soon as they drop, you know, my schedule permitting. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed this. Thank you for watching. Check out the full reaction on Patreon if you're not already. Obius1 here. I'll see you guys next time.